Welcome back. We are to the second part of Chapter 2. This is going to be really short, actually, just one page. We're talking about the graphs of the data that we just did in Section 2.1, the relative frequency graphs. This is called a histogram. A histogram is a graph consisting of bars of equal width drawn adjacent to each other. The horizontal scale represents classes of quantitative data values, and the vertical scale represents the frequencies. Now, if you recall in the previous video, we talked about the class boundaries where we had to go up and down a 0.5. Well, the reason for that is our bars all need to touch each other to be a true histogram as we're looking at that. This one is based on the data. This one is based on the relative frequency, so this is called a relative frequency histogram. And if you can't read my writing, it's right there. And this actually is data that is based on those IQ scores that we kept looking at in the previous. And you can see very little on the edges, but most of the good data is in the middle. So this is almost bell-shaped. And here's the relative frequency. So these are actually percents. You can see it says percent if you can't read that, and frequency there. Now, if we do a lot of classes, you can see we kind of get that nice bell shape there. And this is what's called symmetric. It's not perfectly symmetric in this case, but you can see if you cut it right down the middle, it's almost identical one way or the other. This distribution is what's called a uniform distribution. These ones are quite boring, actually. They don't give us a lot of good data or information. Now, what happens here is you can see the data is kind of bunched up to the left here. That's a little deceiving. We actually want to see how the longer tail. So in this case, this is called skewed to the right, because this is the longer tail. Making this one skewed to the left. Again, the longer tail. So a distribution is skewed, S-K-E-W-E-D, if it is not symmetric and it extends more to one side than the other. And again, data skewed right have a longer right tail, and skewed left if there's a longer left tail. Like I said, short video, hope it helped. We'll do more on history.